Look, our next story and our next guest is standing by. I told Ben we were going to get into that. He didn't believe me. You didn't really believe me when I said this was happening. I'm going to read from a press release from the Better Wellington group. And could I just issue a warning right now? If young kids are listening, you might want to, I don't know, get them out of the room or cover their ears. You are not going to believe what I'm about to read to you. Sponsored by Wellington City Council, amongst other groups, a Transgender Guide to Sex and Relationships is a free online course designed to provide interesting, fun, insightful and practical information for transgender adults, according to the website Gender Minorities. This is Wellington City Council ratepayer money. The course appears to have been running for over 2 years, since November 22, funded in part by Wellington Council. It assists transgender people to explore ideas about their body and sense of self, what they like and don't like, their needs and limits, communication, sex and relationships. It's a 12-hour course and it's broken into 6 chapters. Among the activities that the website appears to be encouraging with My Ratepayers Money, urinating on your partner, oral sex on your partner's, and because there are kids here, bottom, overriding consent concepts around BDSM, kids ask your parents, not telling a sex partner you are transgender before engaging in a sex act with them, cruising on anonymous sex, chemsex or sex under the influence of drugs, the use of dildos, sex toys as promoted by a representative from the adult toy megastore, and couples exploring niche or kink fetishes such as waterboarding, suturing, and being urinated on. That's a bit lame-o, and I just wonder how much of my ratepayers' money is going towards that sort of, and actually I'm with Brian Tamaki on this one. No matter how broad-minded you are, that is perversion. Joining us now from Better Wellington, a spokesperson, Alistair Boyce. Boyce, I couldn't believe that. How much money did we spend on that?
Well, we've got some more information overnight, and it looks like Wellington City Council spent $170,000 over 4 years in tranches of $43,000 for 3 years and another one of $40,000. So this has been going on for 4 years, so it extends back in time. I don't know how this got authorised or whether any city councillors even know about it. So it may be entrenched within the bureaucracy. There may be a rogue department, who knows, but it warrants some journalistic investigation.
Well, how do we investigate it when... No, we've got to get a counsellor on. I mean, Tory Whanau doesn't talk to anyone. 170 grand? Teaching trans people to urinate on each other?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit stunned, Boise.
Well, I was too. I was totally taken aback, and I found the whole thing quite confronting, to be honest. And then, because all we're looking for is the excess of council expenditure, where our rates go, and we're starting to look at, well, what can we trim? What's going to be taken out? We're starting to look at alternative budgets and things like this. So we're starting to deep dive into their own information at council, just like we did on the flyer with the graphs and the information we provided then about the excess of council expenditure and the fact that the city would be insolvent, apart from the fact that they can smash 20% rate increases on us. And this is what they're doing with it.
That's what they're doing with the rates money. Now, this is really the point, though. The buck for this sort of rubbish has to stop with Tory Whanau, doesn't it?
Yes, it does go from before her time.
Ah, okay.
So I will make that point. It appears to go back 4 years. But then how does the process keep going with out council approval. What budget did it come out of? Was it like a Rainbow Parade Pride budget? Who approved what and how? And how does this department within the council bureaucracy keep
What's the department
going?
called?
I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't got to that. I've got that information just came overnight. But as far as I can see, it's correct.
Wow.
Because all the other source information that you've got on the press release, and you can see with the Wellington City Council logos and all that, is verifiable.
Sean Rush, councillor last term, says this is news to him.
Exactly. So the councillors may not even be aware of it. And what we're talking about here is it could be the tip of the iceberg, where you've got rogue departments within council. This machine is utterly broken and utterly unaccountable. You realise, and it came up on Michael Law's show yesterday with Tony Randall, that even when councillors get reports, there's vast tracks that are redacted. We're talking 20%. We're talking appendices that are just cut out. And their own poll, remember, corroborated our Courier poll, that didn't get to the councillors. There was huge parts of that redacted, and they only presented to the public in a way that made them still look great.
Meantime, the Prime Minister labels Wellington Region lame-o. His government was literally giving away some free money, and the collective councils of the region couldn't get their act together and figure out what they'd ask for money for. I mean, presumably, transgender sex lessons weren't on the agenda.
Yeah, well, this is another real problem, trying to get to the bottom of the Wellington water woes. I appreciate your Nick Leggett interview yesterday, but he sort of only really scratched the surface. And that how within the bureaucracy that's been created, who allowed the expenditure, the excess, the lack of checks and balances, and the oversight committee is the mayors. So it was quite an effective tactic from Tory Whānau to deflect the criticism totally onto Nick Leggett, because she's part of the oversight committee, as is Darren Ponta. And then we get to the lame-o stuff. Well, then that's just patently ridiculous. You've got a government outlining a program and agenda for the development of the Wellington region.